Hi, I'm Bob Dodge. I fell in love with ancient art about 26 years ago, and we started Artemis Gallery about 23, 24 years ago. Um, One of the things that I've discovered with my collection of ancient art, and it certainly has come full circle with the ancient art that we buy and sell here at the gallery, display is, if not everything, it's a huge element of ancient art. And if you have a wonderful example of ancient pottery, ancient bronze, ancient glass, and it sits on a table and it doesn't look good, you're missing out on something wonderful. So I'm talking today about how to properly display your ancient art. In front of me, I've got a number of examples. Some we think are displayed very well, some maybe not so much. So what do we look for in how to display a piece of ancient art? So I'm going to start with this example right here. Here is a wonderful bronze cauldron handle, horse heads on each side. And when we acquired this piece, it came to us without a stand, no way of displaying it. And so let me ask you, if you're looking at a piece of ancient art and it's sitting on a desk or a table or in your display cabinet and it's just sitting there, it really is missing half of its beauty and half of its sense of excitement. So we recommend, and this isn't self-serving, yes, we provide stands for our clients. The purpose of this talk is not to get more business. In a very large extent, making stands is time-consuming and isn't nearly as profitable as selling ancient art, but it's a service that we provide because we think it's necessary. So you take a wonderful example of gorgeous bronze, wonderful patina. You build a stand around it, and the stand should do one thing, and that is to display the piece so the piece is the star. You don't want the stand to become the art, with one possible exception that I'll get into, but you really want the art to be the star. So when we designed the stand for this piece, it was very simple. Just let the piece be the star. So this bronze looks a whole lot better on a stand, displayed, beautiful, than if it's just sitting on a table. So another example, all right, beautiful piece of Byzantine bronze work called a candelarium. If this were sitting on a desk, look what happens. That is not doing it justice. So you have to take a piece like this, you have to display it, you have to show it extended so that you can see the workmanship, the beauty, the patina, everything that's going on with this thing. So again, we made a stand that we thought would highlight all of the beautiful elements of this piece. Now here's the one exception that I was kind of snickering at. I made this for myself. No, this is not making the artwork the star necessarily. But what do you do with a group of spindle whirls? All right, so these are from the pre-Columbian world. They're really neat things that were used in the manufacturing of textiles. And, you know, we've seen a lot of spindle whirls. I made this for myself kind of as a whim, kind of hearkening back to my days as a little youth where I got to play with these things in the doctor's office and trying to figure out how to get something from this side to this side. I wasn't very good at that, but I made this. I think it's clever. I think it's cute. It does a good job of displaying the function, the shape, the form of these spindle whirls. And I just like this one because it's fun. Not for everyone, but you know, art can be fun as well. So I did this one because it was fun. So I want to show you a couple of examples of exquisite pieces of ancient art. This guy, he is just such a wonderful early example. But look at this hideous display. So when we look at this display, what do you see? You see things covering the feet. So he is being partially obscured by the base. Awful. You see he's glued down. Somebody took Elmer's glue took these rings, put them over his feet, glued him down onto a base. That's a disservice. That is criminal to me. What needs to be done, this guy needs to come off of this base, and a base needs to be made that goes up behind his leg and attaches at the waist. So when you look at this, you're looking at the form and the flow and the expression on his face, and your eye isn't stopped at the base here. That's just, in my opinion, it's just dead wrong. And then here's another example. We see these all the time. I guess back in the 1960s, acrylic blocks were the rage. Everybody loved acrylic blocks. But look what happens with acrylic over time. It scratches, it kind of yellows a little bit. It just becomes unattractive. So what they did is they took looks like probably a clothes hanger, put it in on each end, and then put this guy over the top of it. Not a horrible example, but it just doesn't do much for displaying the piece. So what could you do with something like this? I mean, if the function looks okay and it displays the piece fine, take some black spray paint. Paint this thing so that you don't see the scratches, you don't see anything but the piece sitting in a black display. So displaying the piece is critically important to getting the most out of your artwork. If you need help, if you want to talk to us about the best way of displaying your pieces, give us a call, send us photographs. We know wonderful display makers in Europe, in numerous areas of the United States. They'd be happy to make you wonderful displays. We would do that as well. But again, the purpose of this isn't to sell you displays. It's to get you to think of how is the best way for you to display this wonderful example of ancient art and all the ancient art in your collection. Bob Dodge, Artemis Gallery. Have fun collecting. Thanks.